Welcome everyone, Dr. Tom DePaoli again, giving you a video/webinar on win-win negotiations. Contact information and how to get this presentation is given later in the presentation. Please subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Here's our mission statement of Apollo Solutions. Share and pay forward the hard knocks lessons learned in life, career, and business. Here are my books on Amazon. Give them a try. They're on there. Just put my name in and they will come up. Win-win negotiations is a relatively new approach to problem solving and mutual gain. Why do you want to do it? A lot of information overload today, a lot of competitive pressures. The pace is very frenetic, and win-win negotiation is a different approach to negotiations. Objectives today: understand the process, the guidelines, try to figure out your style, how to deal with tactics, and how to develop your communication skills, and how to apply the skills. Here is a definition of negotiation. The goal is a mutually satisfying agreement. Self-assessment. You need to assess yourself, know your style, what outcomes you want, have a checklist for your negotiation session, who has the power, who has the leverage. Human side of negotiation is important. And also, there are many style exercises you can do to figure out what your style is. Preparation. Figure out where the location is and who it favors. Make sure you prepare and make sure you know all your issues. Use some sort of model approach or methodology. Make sure you have good teamwork. It's appropriate for high-level negotiations, strategic suppliers, diplomatic negotiations, alliance-type agreements, and major serious efforts. You don't bargain over positions. You have a criteria for success and make sure you list them. Wise and efficient improves the relationship between parties. Here's some games that are played in old school negotiating. Take a hard position, bargain away continually, swap concessions, drag out the process, contest of wills, and you usually get a poor agreement. All right, difference between a soft style and a hard style, they're pretty apparent. I'll give you some time to read them. Separate people from the problem. Focus on interests, not positions. Create a variety of possibilities. Insist that the result be based on some objective standard. Again, separate people from the problem. Be a problem solver. Empathy, or put in the other party's shoes, is important. No blaming. Get them involved. Legitimize emotion, and if you have to vent, vent. Communicate and listen actively. Speak about yourself, not them. Try to build relationships. Get involved in problem solving. Okay? And make sure that you get people who can work together and sit side by side. Make sure the interests are defined and identify the problems. Ask why not. Realize that they are multiple and often conflicting interests in a negotiation session. Be hard on problems, soft on people. Understand basic human needs. Make a list and then come alive with it. Put problems before the answer. Look forward, not back. Be concrete, but be flexible. Expand the pie, don't split it. Here's some diagnostic obstacles. Judge too quickly, search for a silver bullet. You assume there's a fixed pie. Solving their problem is their problem. No, it's not. It's our problem. Separate inventing options from judging. Broaden the options on the table. Search for mutual gains. This is critical. Invent ways to make decisions easy. Brainstorming is encouraged. Define the purpose. Walk out if you're not satisfied. Choose a few participants who you trust. Change the environment, time, and place if you have to. Make sure the atmosphere is relaxed. Choose a facilitator to keep the meeting going on track, enforce the ground rules, and stimulate discussion. Sort of no criticism in a brainstorming session. Okay? Clarify ground rules, brainstorm, get a long list, record ideas so everyone can see them and agree with the recording. Don't attribute an idea to a person or attribute. Star the most promising ideas. Invent improvements for ideas. Step up a time to evaluate, or set up a time to evaluate ideas. Sessions alone and with the other side. Broaden options. Inventing options, step 1. What is wrong? What are the current symptoms? What are the disliked facts contrasted with the preferred situation? Inventing options, diagnose the problem, sort symptoms into categories, suggest some causes, observe what is lacking, note barriers to resolving the problem. Approaches, what are the possible strategies or prescriptions? What are some theoretical cures? Generate broad ideas about what might be done. Step 4. What might be done? What specific steps might be taken to deal with the problem? Shared interests. Okay? Opportunities, they are, not godsends. Make it concrete and future-orientated. Stress shared interests to smooth out the issues. Dovetail differing interests. Okay? Make sure you understand what all the interests are. Here's a long list of differences in interest. I'll give you a chance to take a look at them. As you can see, plenty of categories. Here's some tips. Search for precedent. Discuss consequences, not threats. Draft a proposal where a simple yes suffices. Deep digging at real interest. Insist on using objective criteria. Develop some fair standards beforehand. Use benchmark data indices. Procedures must be viewed as fair. Reason and be open to an objective criteria. Frame each issue. Reason and be open to reason on appropriate standards. Never yield to pressure only. Okay? Remember that. Here's a summary and guidelines. Lead from strength. Appeal to basic emotions. Focus on interests, not positions. Be flexible, be creative, be prepared. Make appropriate concessions. Use objective criteria. Be trustworthy, but not totally trusting. Win-win negotiation system, basically gain other parties' interest, communicate objectives and interest, listen, get agreement areas, deal with objections, isolate issues, focus on creative solutions, deal effectively with tactics, summarize and close properly. Discuss the type of issues that should be presented on an agreement template that is high-powered and strategic. Review your templates. Communicate your overall plan. Let them know you will walk away. Clarify the interest. Deal with objections, but keep talking. Framing exercise. From a list of contentious issues, rephrase the issues in a different framework. In other words, you have an issue, reframe it a different way 3 or 4 times. Here's some traditional tactics. I think you're all familiar with them. I'll give you a chance to read them. Here's some more traditional tactics. I think we all have seen good cop, bad cop. Take it or leave it. Delay, deny, delay. Difference factors: pacing fast or slow, formality, okay, taking close to oral or written agreements. You can see these are typical factors that influence negotiations, and you've got to think about these. All right, I won't spend too much time on this. These are some body languages you should be familiar with. And as you observe the persons you're negotiating with, try to figure out, when they do these body language, what they're really saying. Is it typical? Is it normal? Or is it something out of the ordinary? Use your concessions artfully. Do it in small increments. Ask for another concession from them. Prepare a list of small concessions, then start linking them. Hold firm on major points. Closing tips. Make sure you clearly define the agreement. Clear up ambiguities. Commend all the parties. Make sure everyone has some sort of win feeling. End on a positive and write it up very quickly so people can review it. Have an action plan. Formulate your personal action plan, what you have to do. Practice, practice, practice the action plan. Pick your battles in negotiations. Use a team approach. Also, get multicultural training for everyone. All right, these are my 9 great business books on Amazon. I call it a real-world MBA. Why don't you give some of them a try? I think you'll find them very useful. Here's some facts about me. I've done a lot of negotiating on all levels, on all issues, a lot of consulting and train people in it, and I think you'll appreciate my insights. Here's some contact information. Like I said, I've got an author's page, I've got a website, Facebook pages, Twitter, and blog spots and things like that. All right, here's what I promised. If you have any questions or you want some copies of this presentation, just email me your request, thomasdepaoli@yahoo.com or drtomd@gmail.com. My website also has a contact page. A reminder, please subscribe. Thanks much. Hope you enjoyed my advice. I enjoyed trying to tell you about win-win negotiations, and hopefully you'll learn something. Thank you for your time.